Today's episode of Strong Links is brought to you by Dan and Van, Sleaford and the surrounding area's #1 man with a van service. And now for today's show.
Hello and welcome to Strong Links, Lincolnshire's local podcast in association with your local Links magazine. My name's Rich and I'm here with my good friend Dan.
Hi Rich, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm alright, I'm okay. And I'm glad we've got a name, finally.
This is really exciting. We've finally got a name that we've decided on. Strong Links.
Did we come up with that? I think we came up with that name fairly early on, actually.
I'm glad that you finally decided, we finally decided, because I was kind of ready just to call it Podcasty Muck Podcast Face at that point. So yeah, it was good to.
Did you feel like we were going mad?
A little bit, yeah. We had so many names written down,
and we've been busy. We've also got our social media set up, which is fantastic. Oh, we've also got a website.
We have stronglinks.co.uk, but we're there on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, and YouTube. We've got our own YouTube channel.
Make sure to follow us on these social media channels because you can just keep up with everything we're doing in between episodes, basically.
So, Rich, can you give us a quick reminder of what this show's all about?
Well, whether you're from Lincoln, Grimsby, Boston, or anywhere in between, this is about our wonderful county and the amazing people that live here.
And we'll share stories we can learn from, laugh with, and hopefully feel inspired by. So, Rich, what have we got coming up in today's show?
Well, it's October, so it's the spooky season. So we have got a really intriguing interview with a local paranormal investigator. I'm very much looking forward to that.
I know, it was fascinating. Can't wait.
It was. But we've also been out and about, haven't we, Dan?
Yes, we have. We've been to the Town Crier Competition, which was held in the marketplace in Sleaford.
Oh, yay. Oh, yay. Oh, yay. Let's listen to our piece on the Town Crier Competition.
Please give a huge round of applause for the band from County Hill.
Well, Rich, here we are at the Town Crier Competition in Sleaford. We're just taking a quiet moment while they're setting up to just have a quick chat. What do you think?
Sitting on some lovely deck chairs.
Yeah, we are. It's like being at the seaside, and the remnants of the,
Sleaford on Sea was here, wasn't it?
That's right. I saw him clearing it up yesterday, ready for this.
I'm excited about it. I've not been to one of these competitions before. They've been doing it for a few years now in Sleaford. Have you been to one before?
Yeah, I have. I came a few years ago, and it was really good.
Looking at the history of them, because they were very necessary in like medieval times to proclaim the messages to the people that couldn't read, and broadband coverage wasn't as good back in those days, so
they were like the Facebook of olden days.
They did other jobs as well. They would go around arresting riffraff and putting out fires. They were like superheroes, really, the Town Criers. Did you know?
And they still wear capes today. So
no. That's why I think they wear such colourful clothing all the time. They are really prototype superheroes.
Our Town Crier, do you know what his name is?
Our Town Crier in Sleaford is John Griffiths, who takes part in competitions elsewhere in the country and has won 1 or 2 awards. I think he won one recently, actually.
Here we go, her benchmark cry. He's taking his position.
In Lincolnshire's heart, where rivers flow, a quaint town stands, where stories grow.
Could you hear that, Dan?
Oh, just a bit, yeah.
Oh, yeah! Gather round, both young and old. Let Halifax sparkling tale be told.
Welcome from Newmarket in Suffolk.
In Norfolk's heart, this town does stand with history
We are here with Mike, and you're from Norfolk, I believe.
Yes, Watton in Norfolk.
Do you enter a lot of these Town Crier competitions?
I do about probably 3 a year because the town keeps me busy doing various other things as well.
Have you been to the Sleaford one before?
Yes, I missed the first one, but I've been to every one since. I've won twice and come third once. So I've got a reasonable history here.
Wow, we've got a former champion on our hands here. Are you a sort of like a community between yourself? Do you know all these other competitors? Do you sort of...
Oh yes, the Town Crier world is we're quite incestuous, if that's the right word for a podcast. There's about 250 of us around the country, all told. This afternoon, as you probably gathered at the beginning, we've all got Lincolnshire landmarks, and Griff pulled the numbers out of a hat. I got Burley House, so I'm on number 8 this afternoon, so we shall see how it goes.
That's quite a big one, Burley House.
Yes, there has to be not more than 140 words, not less than 100. Must start with oh yay, oh yay, oh yay. Must end with God Save the Queen, or God Save the King these days, you see. Muscle memory, you've done it for so many years. God Save the King, and then the bits in between. I always write mine in rhyme.
So when you fancy a trip to the seaside and partake of that wonderful aroma of freshly caught crabs and fish, we're better to go than to Cromer!
Well, it's a wonderful tradition, and your regalia today, you look fabulous. Is it something that's passed on to you, or do you...
No, this was a change. The crabs decorating the side is obviously because it's Cromer, and we had the World Crabbing Off the Pier Championship the other week. So I've just left those on. But the word Cromer, it used to be an area of water, a mere, which was frequented by crows. So the Crow Mere became Cromer. So hence the black for the crows, the blue for the mere, and of course now for the seaside.
Greetings from Bernoldswick, or Barlick, as it is known.
I'm Elizabeth Anderson-Watson. I've been the Town Crier of Bernoldswick for 22 years.
Wow, that's amazing. That's a long time.
It is. I started when I was 29, and I was the youngest female town crier for many years. Unfortunately now I am not.
Is this your last year of doing it?
Yes, I'm actually giving up in December to move to Australia, but I have had a great time town crying, and I've won quite a few different competitions over that time, and I'm the only woman ever to have won the European Championship in Almelo in the Netherlands, and I am only the second woman to win the National Championships in Hastings.
Goodness
to
me.
add to my many trophies and fun that I've had as a town crier.
Wow, do you think you'll be carrying this on in Australia? Is it something you're going to take overseas?
I would love to, yes, I would love to. I will look into it once I know what my plans are finally, because I do know quite a few Australian town criers.
You're well connected then.
Yes, very well connected. But we do use normal communications, we don't just shout at each other.
Yeah. Well, there we go, Rich. That's Town Crying in Sleaford. What do you think?
There were a lot of loudmouths.
A bunch of attention seekers, I think.
The bells are really loud now. There's a wedding on here as well, and all the town criers were joining in, ringing their bells.
Yeah, it was good atmosphere. I like the way they joined in.
Unique for your wedding to be regaled by a bunch of town criers ringing their bells as you're exiting the church, and that's...
Yeah, that's right. So, that's Town Crying in Sleaford.
Yeah, we've learned a bit today, haven't we, about
the history of it, and
and the traditions and where they get their clothes from. I'd dress up in something like that, would you?
I wouldn't, but I can see you dressing up like Town Crier.
You know, I did play a Town Crier on stage once.
Did you?
Yeah, in a pantomime. I was only about 12 at the time. I'm not sure how that casting choice went, because I don't think my voice had broken actually at that point. I was once a Town Crier and played one.
Wow, that's amazing. Back to the studio.
Well, that was the Town Criers Competition.
Now, the other day, we visited Cogglesford Watermill on the River Slee.
They have lots of events there throughout the year.
And we spoke with Celia, one of their volunteers, to find out what was going on.
Well, today is our annual Taste Of, and what that is that we're really looking at consumer research And this includes shop bought cakes that we have, but they are anonymous to the voters. But we invite people in, they have a little taste of each sample, and then they vote on each one. And some of the items are our own baked goods as well, so that we can get a general feel of what people think of the product. All really looking at the commercial bakers versus our own goods here at Cogglesford.
And you've got some items that have been baked with flour that's been ground here at the mill, have you?
That's right. We've got our own shortbread recipe. Now that's been baked. There's two versions, one with Cogglesford's own mill and, shock horror, the other is Tesco's own. So we're trying to see which is the best, but I think you can tell which one is.
So you have regular events here at the mill. I see you've got something coming up in October, the Widdershins Witch Hunt. Can you tell me what that's all about?
It'll be a free event and it will culminate in a Halloween event in the mill, which we'll be advertising. And again, a free event for families to come to enjoy a bit of Halloween spooktacular fun.
Where did the name Widdershins come from?
Well, Widdershins is an old-fashioned name for the word anti-clockwise. Halloween in Scotland was a children's festival, and Widdershins, I believe, may have been that you stirred the cauldron back to front, anti-clockwise, Widdershins. So that's actually where the name, old-fashioned name, comes from. But again, a lot of fun to have.
And I understand in November you have a lot going on, obviously to tie in with the remembrance events.
Yes, we do, Rich. We've started some months ago that we've been asking for people to send in poppies for us in crochet form, knitted form, anything really, because we're going to festoon the inside of the mill with poppies of all different colours in remembrance of forces past and present, and the remembrance event is going to run for the whole of November. We are going to have on the actual remembrance weekend a sundown ceremony where we will be lighting up all the windows in the mill with LED candles. There's going to be music, we're going to be open a bit late, and this is all going to commemorate remembrance, but it will be all the way through November.
That was Cogglesford Watermill. So, Rich, I think it's time for our main guest this month. If you'd like to introduce him.
Our special guest this month is a local paranormal expert. He's an investigator of ghostly activities, a renowned writer for paranormal publications, and has written his own book on the subject. He's a speaker at international events. He started his own paranormal radio show, and he comes from right here in Sleaford. Welcome, Tom Warrington.
Well, that was a fantastic introduction, I must say. But no, first and foremost, thank you for inviting me onto the show.
Our pleasure. Thank you very much for joining us here. Our first guest in the studio, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, I read your book a couple of years ago, as you know, because I interviewed you for the magazine. Can you tell us a bit about your book, and do you have any more planned?
Sure. Looking for Ghosts, Seeker of Truth was compiled for over about 2 years, gathering research. The idea of the book, first and foremost, was an introductory kind of concept for those that dipping their toe into the paranormal. I didn't want it to be too scientific and in-depth. There was a lot of chapters in there that were very close to my heart with regards to private cases that I conducted over the years. So it was basically a snapshot of where I was within the paranormal field. And I think from what I had from feedback across the globe, and it was doing very well in America, that it was a great piece of work that I did. And not only for those that had expertise in their field, but for those that are beginning their journey into the paranormal. So there's a lot of different chapters, a lot of different spectrums to it. There's a chapter about the alien phenomena and how that ties in with ghostly phenomena, and a lot of different ideologies on the subject matter. But I think for me, Book 2 was always on the cards. I did start it pre-COVID, and it was honed into haunted pubs and inns within the UK. And unfortunately then COVID hit and they put the scuppers on that. So it's definitely going to be reignited, and it's something that I'm sure will be out very soon.
And it's not a bad one to research, really, going around all these pubs.
Exactly. you know, what better way to get a pint and to discuss ghost stories over a roaring fire.
Does your interest in the paranormal stem mainly from Ghostwatch? That was on the BBC. Yeah,
I mean, that show for me was, I think, a big turning point for me. But I think my uncle galvanised that further. He gave me a book that was, if you remember, the listeners probably know, Strange But True with Michael Aspel. Which was an amazing show, and it covered a lot of all things strange. And I think for me, one of the episodes covered the Enfield poltergeist, which is the most documented cases, I'd say, in the world. You had the Society for Psychical Research spending an abundance of time there in the house. And for the listeners that don't know about the Enfield haunting, this happened in 1977 to a family, a very normal family who lived in Enfield. A very normal semi-detached home. They experienced a plethora of really high magnitude of really strange occurrences, quite violent at times. And there was so many different eyewitnesses, from lollipop lady to police officers actually witnessing a chair move 6 foot on its own, unaided. And there is written statements online that you can read about it, to reporters from The Sun who had Lego thrown at them from an invisible force. But Maurice Gross and Guy Lionel Playfair, who were members of the Society for Psychical Research, spent a huge amount of time and energy with the family. And they documented some fascinating phenomena, from fires coming from the wall, from settees turning. You know, that for me really sparked my interest. Why were these things happening? Why to that family? You know, so I was only 10 years old at the time, and my uncle gave me that book, and I was just hooked. I really was hooked.
So at the moment, we've got Halloween coming up, and it's a time when a lot of us get in tune with supernatural matters.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Because of the, it harks back to ancient beliefs of, I believe, like the dimensions becoming thinner between worlds.
Yeah.
Did you ever find when you were doing investigations that times of the year like this were conducive to paranormal investigation?
It's a really interesting question. For me, I found there was more of a trend for people to experience phenomena in the daytime. There's a lot more accounts. It's a myth that...
In the daytime?
Yeah.
I thought it always happened at night.
Exactly. And that's because of film. The film concept and the horror scene, everything seems to be happening at night. But from my research and all my private cases, more activity happened during the day. So it is a massive misconception that things that go bump in the night occur. A lot of private cases, families that have come to me and approached me, that they have more of the activity in the daytime. But that's not discounting things that do happen at night, but more of the activity does happen in the daytime.
Makes you wonder, all the ghosts that might be knocking around in the day, and we just assume they're normal people and have someone by in the street.
Exactly.
Could be a ghost, who knows?
Yeah.
So these days, I understand you're mainly talking on the subject.
That's right.
Yeah, rather than doing investigations. Mm-hmm. Was that a conscious decision?
Yeah,
to do that?
Yeah, I think coming away from the investigative side of things, obviously I've still got that massive interest. So for me to share publicly what I've found over the years is fantastic, you know. And the amount of stories that people come to me with is so fascinating. I did a talk at Lessingham Village Hall for a lady widows group, and that I blew their mind. You know, I did a talk on the private case in Abbey in Lincolnshire, and I actually played the footage. I did dedicate a chapter in the book, The Humming Lady of Abbey. And, you know, to get other people's feedback and just to see their faces and how they kind of deal with and process that information is really fascinating. But I do enjoy doing the talks. I've done a lot of conventions over the years. And I think
what are the big conventions? What?
So I did the big paranormal convention down south a few years ago, where they had a lot of international ghost hunters from the TV. A lot of Ghost Adventures people were there, and I actually did a radio show as well. We actually won Radio Show of the Year at the awards, which was fantastic because there were so many podcasts and great speakers there.
Everyone's got podcasts these days.
Oh, of course they are. They're fantastic. You know, you can listen on the move, but they're definitely the way forward. But yeah, I'm still doing talks. So I'm still keeping my toe in the water, as it were. But I think for me, talking to people about the subject as well is fascinating. You know, the amount of stories that people have and experiences that people have. And I think, like, I go back to earlier when I said it's still a bit taboo. People are still a bit cautious of telling their story. And I think when I do my talks, it allows the floodgates to open and they say, oh, finally someone I can actually sit down and talk to about my experience.
Yeah.
So for me, the talks are great, but the best bit about it is talking to the people and how they've experienced stuff over the years. It's fascinating.
Yeah, it's amazing how many people, you know, just having general conversations with people that, and the subject comes up and people have had experiences.
Yeah.
You know, it's I don't think it's a coincidence that people are having these experiences, but it's.
I think not to take away anybody's experience. You know, I'm always open to what people have to say, but you know, and I hate people poo-pooing other people's experiences. But at the end of the day, you weren't there.
Yeah.
That person experienced it, and they're opening up to you. You know, so and I've interviewed thousands of people over the years, and yes, there are some that you think okay, but the majority are very genuine, and you can tell when you're actually talking to people, and especially when I've done private cases, you generally can see fear in people's eyes when they're sharing their experiences, you know. And that, for me, I'm a very good judge of character. You know, we've been to cases over the years where they just want the publicity. They want money for the publicity. And you can very early on distinguish the reasons behind that. But the majority of investigations I've conducted over the years have been extremely genuine. They really have.
Yeah, you mentioned was it the Humming Lady of Abbey?
Yes.
Yeah, that was, I think that's the opening chapter of your book.
Yes.
Isn't it? Firstly, tell us, what's the name of this book so people can go and check it out?
Yes, so it's Looking for Ghosts, Seeker of Truth, written by myself and edited by my wife, Gemma. Bless her, she had a lot of input on that. It's still available on Amazon, and it's strange. This time of the year, there's an influx of purchases, obviously honed in on the whole Halloween concept. But it's still out there to buy. But yeah, back to the Humming Lady of Abbey. That was a phenomenal case we undertook. It was really something special, and something that I caught on camera. There's a lot of people that have seen the footage and listened to it, and every person that comes around my house, I'll put it on and say, put the headphones on and tell me what you think to that. well, they go white. They go white. You know, there's no explanation what I caught and the team caught that day. And I think more important to the fact that we as investigators have a duty to people that, you know, we're there to listen and to help and support every way we can. It's not just a case of crashing in and investigating and leaving the family. You know, we're there to support them as well. We were very proud to say that, you know, our support after the investigations was there and beyond, you know, and it was for that family at the time as well. So
did you know you'd captured something at the time?
Well, we were there collectively as a team for 6 weeks. So as investigative terminology, that is quite rare. You know, public events last 8 hours, you know. Yeah. So there's not a lot of time to have a chance to catch anything, as it were. So to have a case where we could really set aside time and different times of the day where different team individuals were there and spent time with the family. There was an extensive amount of recordings that we did, as you can imagine. We had probably up to a number of 14 hard drive camcorders that were rolling 24/7. We had sound recorders.
But was this a family that brought you in?
Yeah,
you in to investigate.
Yeah, so we received an email from a family who lived in a cottage in a hamlet called Aby. Not a lot there, and they said we're at our wits' end. Basically, they were all sleeping together in the lounge. It was a family of 4 at the time, and then the first day there was a lot of preliminary investigation before this, so there's a lot of work that goes on prior to us setting foot into that location. You know, there's a lot of things to go through before we think, right, okay, this is the real deal. This is genuine. They surpassed that. The first day, you know, it was very clear to us all that they were frightened. They were really scared. I mean, to see them camped out in the lounge together, they slept together, was a big indication that something wasn't right here. So at the time, to answer your question, no, I didn't know I caught this sound recording at the time. It was upon reviewing. And I'll never forget, I was in the office and I basically set up a static camera in the upstairs playroom, child's playroom upstairs, where they proclaimed to have seen this apparition. And it was an interactive apparition. You know, there was conversations had between the apparition and the children, and not so much the adults or the parents. They just experienced a lot of things moving, disappearing, and reappearing, which was frustrating, obviously, and a bit unnerving. But the kids, it seemed to centre a bit around the children, and especially the playroom. So I set up a camera that was facing the only way to gain access. Yes, there was a window. However, this is on the first floor. You'd have to climb up to get through into and it was an old cottage. You know, you had to slide the windows up. So that would, you know, you would have heard someone enter the room. I actually locked the playroom to lock it off. So I had the key. We went downstairs, we just made a cup of tea. We actually paid for the family to have a day out in Skegness, you know, just enjoy yourselves. Come away from the house. And they left us there. So we was having a cup of tea and everything. And I heard a slight bang upstairs. And we didn't think anything of it. We left the cameras rolling. So upon review of the footage, I think within an hour and 10 minutes of leaving the camera there, you heard a very distinctive bang within the room. And it was definitely 100% the room. And then what came after, I literally, because I had my headphones on in the office, I literally threw the headphones off because I was literally like, wow. I caught, and it lasted probably about 3 to 4 seconds. And it was a very distinct lady, middle-aged lady, humming, clear as day. It was a humming. It was.
Tune,
It was. Some people said it was a nursery rhyme, not the one I'm familiar with, but a lot of people who have listened to it was a nursery rhyme. But it was so distinctly clear. It was clear. There was nothing outside. We was downstairs. You couldn't even hear the team downstairs. But it was just so crystal clear. And it's shaking me to this day because there's no way anyone could have entered the room because I had the key and it was locked. There's no scientific explanation.
Does it sound eerie, or does it sound?
It sounds literally, yeah. Well, it sounded like a lady was in that room humming a nursery rhyme. There's just no other explanation. And for your listeners, I'm happy to send a copy for the listeners to have. You know, I'm not hiding anything. You know, I'm very open to people's feedback, you know, so if they do want to get in contact, I can send that footage.
We'd love to hear
I'll send it to you guys and for you to give me your thoughts on it.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's definitely something special. I've got friends and family who are non-believers, completely non-believers. They're not even comprehending there's a possibility of paranormal phenomena. And for them to turn around and go, oh, okay, that is weird. And I'm really proud that I did capture that because it certainly kind of snowballed into everything else and further research. So the family actually moved out. They do not. I still keep in touch with the parents. They're fine. They moved out, not through because of what was happening, but for other reasons. They had to move on. But you know, we did actually contact the new owners who entered the property, but they weren't open for discussion.
Right.
Which, you know, we've got to respect that.
Yeah.
You know. So it would be fascinating to know if they are experiencing.
I believe it's something you need to declare when. Is that right? When you sell a house?
That's in America.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
yeah. I mean, America. You know, they're big believers in the paranormal.
Going back to your book, you go to a lot of local places.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is quite famous, became famous nationally, is the Ruskington Horror.
Yes.
It was something that was explored on Richard and Judy back in the day,
wasn't
it?
Yes.
It got really big.
It did, yeah.
One of the things I was fascinated about in your book, you related that to another nearby landmark, which is Temple Brewer.
Yeah.
Which is obviously related to the Knights Templar.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, nearby as well, you've got Bayard's Leap, which, you know, that whole mythology has the Knights Templar entwined with it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that there are these old presences there, or is it possibly a combination of things in the terms of the Ruskington Horror on the A15?
I generally think, and I've done several talks on the Ruskington Horror, and I believe that it's something to do with the Knights Templar and what's happened there at Temple's Brewer. So at Temple's Brewer, the Knights Templar had one of the largest settlements in Europe. Now, the Knights Templar, of course, were very... They liked researching earth energies. They were very in tuned into this. This kind of mythological concept of this superpower that they could house, etc. I mean, they're famous for obviously the guardians of the Holy Grail, but they were very entwined into the kind of mystical side of things as well. There were a couple of actually archaeological digs in the early 1900s, which discovered a lot of sacrificial burials from the Knights Templar. So they were experimenting. And I think it's not just a coincidence that people experience a lot of different types of phenomena on the A15. I think that area in itself is quite mystical. I did a talk on ley lines, and ley lines are supposedly mystical earth energies. there's a lot of ley lines that cross over, in particular the last remaining tower there actually is on an intersection of ley lines. And there's a very interesting experiment that listeners can do. You can go there for free. It's open quite a lot. If you go to the top level, if you put your compass at the top, a lot of the times the compass will react and spin.
Really?
So there's definitely something mystical going on in that area, and I think that is why a lot of people experience different types of phenomena. Whether that the energies are interfering with our brains, and it's causing us to see different types of imagery, or there's something more to it than that. But it is a fascinating place, and the more you research Temple Brewer, the more fascinating it gets. I highly recommend you look into the Temple Brewer. It's fascinating.
I've been there a few times. I always love going there. And like you say, there isn't a lot left of the original building, but there could be a lot underground.
Oh, massively. Yeah, huge, yeah. I mean, it was such a massive settlement. They actually...
it was second to the Temple in London, is that right?
Yes, correct, yeah.
So it was very significant.
It was a massive, poignant place. And then obviously there was a lot of medieval settlements nearby, close to it as well. They held a lot of jousting tournaments. It was kind of a showcase piece for the Knights Templar. They owned a massive amount of the land surrounding it. Obviously, they were a very wealthy organisation. But I think for me, they were fascinated by all things kind of strange and mythical. They were very on that, and I think they realised, or they discovered something with energy lines that may still be there, and people to this day come up to me and say, I experienced this weird thing on the A15. What was it? I said, well, you're not the only people to experience strange phenomena, from people seeing period horse and carts to apparitions to ghost hitchhikers. The A15 has a plethora of different types of phenomena, which the hot spots that I've mapped are very, very close to the Knights Templars kind of footholding, as it were, in the area. So I definitely think it's no coincidence at all.
Do you think ghostly experiences happen to people when they're kind of not looking for them?
Yeah, and I've always said this, I've been searching for ghosts for a long, long time, 30 plus years. And I've always joked that if I ever did see an apparition, I'll be running the opposite direction. So I'm like the world's worst ghost hunter, And I think you've hit the nail on the head. I think 9 times out of 10, and the people I've spoken to, they're either have never been interested in the paranormal, which I find fascinating, and B, they're not looking for it. It just happens to him at an unexpected time, unexpected scenario. And then again, that in itself raises a lot of questions for people that are really searching for it, don't have that lucrative kind of phenomena to happen to them. So I think, to answer your question, I think if you're interested in experiencing phenomena like that, don't go looking for it.
Yeah, it's a bit of a paradox, really.
The whole
thing.
Yeah.
So Dan and I were getting in the spirit of the spooky season, no pun intended. And we're looking to go on a ghost hunt of our own, somewhere locally for this podcast.
Yeah.
Don't expect big things from it. But are there any good places that you could recommend for us to go to locally?
Well, I think Temple Brewer Preceptory, 100%. That for me is a very mystical place. Havering Priory, I dedicated a chapter of that. That's quite fascinating in itself. There is a part of the Priory still there. I was lucky enough to speak to the landowner many moons ago, who actually allowed me to go wandering around the remains of the ruins. People to this day still experience a lot of stuff, especially around the river and on the bridge. And actually my work colleague experienced something quite frightening when she was travelling back on the road past Havant Priory. She was literally overtaken by a period horse and carriage.
Really? Wow.
Now, she didn't read my book before, but then when she read it, she kind of came running to me and said, "Tom, I can't believe you've written about Havant Priory, and I've never told anyone about this." And she's a very down-to-earth lady, you know, she takes no nonsense. And she really went into great detail of this horse and carriage. I mean, to the point where it had lanterns at the front and back. And she said it passed her overtaking, and then when she
was driving.
She was driving, yeah. It kind of dissipated in front of her, so it kind of vaporised and went. That's the only way she could explain it. And it's literally the road. If you go over the bridge, you've got Havant Priory on the right-hand side. You bend round and you've got the road to Eckington.
Yeah.
That was the road she experienced it on. She'd never told anyone before in her life, but she was so thankful that she read my book, and she was like, "Oh, I'm not insane." Because obviously I've interviewed a lot of people who have experienced a lot of things around Havant Priory.
Do people experience the same things, or is it?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people experiencing what they seem to think people holding lanterns in a distance at Havant. Now, whether that's to do with the monastery, could be connected, I don't know. But yeah, there's been several people seeing a period horse and carriage. There's a multitude of different amazing places across Lincolnshire. There really is. But yeah, no, I think Havant for me, that's close by, and the Temple Brewer is definitely a must.
Yeah, I'd be up for either of those places. Dan, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I think I feel a ghost hunt coming on.
Yeah, I think so. I think we need to go and find the truth, don't we?
Let's do it.
I'm inspired.
Yeah, absolutely fascinating. I talk to you all day.
We could talk all night, really.
Yeah. Oh, we could. We just scratched the surface, gents. We really have.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you'll have to come back on the show. Like next year, let's book you 100%. In now.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah.
Let's do this. Yeah. Okay, Brill.
How can people find you?
So I do have a Facebook page, Thomas Warrington, Seeker of Truth. If they want to pop on there's a lot of content. I used to do a lot of writing for the Supernatural magazine in London. So a lot of articles that I've written on there, the Most Haunted magazine as well. There's a lot of podcasts on there. There's a lot of information. So once you go down that rabbit hole, you may find yourself looking into it more. But again, yeah, the book's still out, available on Amazon, if they want to pick that up and delve into all things strange.
Brilliant. Well, Tom, thank you so much for joining us and doing that and chatting to us tonight. It's been fascinating.
It's been brilliant.
No,
thank you, Tom.
Thank you very much, gents, and it's been really enjoyable tonight. Thank you.
Discover the magic of theatre at the Playhouse in Sleaford. Looking for a night out that's full of drama, laughter and unforgettable moments? Step into the hidden gem of Sleaford and experience the best in live theatre at the Playhouse on Westgate. Home of Sleaford Little Theatre and the SLT Academy, there's something here for everyone. Drama, comedy, live music and even our exciting new community cinema. But there's so much more going on here with live tribute acts and touring theatre companies. And come December we return to Pantoland with Mother Goose. Visit sleafordplayhouse.co.uk for more information and to secure your seats for a night of entertainment you won't forget.
Well, since that interview with Tom, he has sent us this clip of a ghost.
We're going to listen to it.
We are going to listen to it.
We've not listened to it, have we?
We have genuinely not listened to this clip. I told Tom, I said, look, I'm not being rude. I'm not going to listen to it now. I'm going to save it and we're going to listen to it live on the podcast. So we've both got headphones plugged into my phone.
Before we listen to it, how are you feeling about it? Because I'm pretty scared, to be honest. But
well, I mean, there's something I should tell you, and I've not mentioned this to Dan actually, but when I was listening back to Tom's interview that night when I went to bed, I was dreaming of the day's events. Like you do, you process what was going on in the day. And that's what I was doing. That was what's going on in my head. I was editing the interview. And then suddenly in my dream, I started to hear this ghostly lady.
You're joking.
No.
You've not told me this.
No, I've not. I haven't told you this. So yeah, this is
wow.
a revelation for you.
Can you remember it?
Yeah, I remember it because strangely she wasn't humming in my dream. She was laughing. Weirdly.
Ooh.
But I remember in the dream I had the same kind of reaction as Tom. Later in the night I got back to sleep and my phone buzzed. It goes on to night hours in the night, so it's not supposed to make any noise.
That was probably me sending you show notes or something.
Probably at 4 a.m. Yeah. But yeah, that was just a bit weird. But anyway, shall we have?
It doesn't help. This studio's quite dark as well. So this is the scene set.
It is.
Let's listen to it.
Okay, I'm going to hit play. It's about to happen.
So, okay, I'm going to play it for you now. What you will also hear is the camcorder noise, which is slightly off-putting, but once you kind of listen to it back, you'll get used to the camcorder noise. Okay, so hopefully you'll pick up on the humming lady of AB. Let me know what you think.
Whoa.
What do you think?
Oh my goodness.
That was, oh God, that was eerie.
That was pretty spooky. I am a bit spooked out right now.
I can imagine that in a dream. That is quite freaky, that.
It was quite freaky and...
Oh, shivering.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Has it given you a taste for investigation yourself, Dan?
Well, yeah, that was pretty freaky. Yeah, definitely up for a ghost hunt.
Yeah? Do you think we should go on one now?
I think let's do it.
See if we can get some paranormal recording of our own. Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Well, we're in the car and we are on our way to our ghost hunt. How are you feeling about this, Dan?
I'm a bit nervous, but yeah, looking forward to it. I'm not sure if ghosts exist, but we'll go and find out. And where are we going?
We have decided to go to Haverholme Priory. Really, it was a toss-up between here and Temple Brewer. But this is a great place. There's lots of history here. So let's just hope the ghosts are out tonight, yeah?
Yeah, I'm sure they are. It's looking quite misty here where we're driving. And it's quite cold as well. So do ghosts come out in the cold weather? I don't know.
If we find one, we'll ask them. We have arrived at the Haverholme car park. It is very dark tonight, isn't it, Dan?
Can't see a thing. There's no moon out, so it's very dark.
It's very atmospheric. There's a lot of stars out tonight. Near to us is where Tom's friend saw that horse and cart, isn't it? Just
that bridge just over there.
Yeah.
Is where they saw it disappear, I think.
So we're just heading over to the Priory ruins right now. I mean, we've got to remember what Tom said, really, that most ghost appearances happen in the daytime, so...
I've got that. Yeah, we've come at the wrong time of day.
We might be a bit apprehensive, but statistically, it's unlikely that we're going to encounter any ghosts.
We were better coming in at a lunch hour at work. Let's come see it.
We were better coming with a different purpose.
because he also said that you experience ghosts when you're not looking for them. So we should have had another reason to come to this car park late at night. Can you think of any other reason?
Well,
I've got nothing.
no, I haven't. I don't know what you mean, mate. I don't know what you mean. So we've just been wandering around the priory. We've not really got into it, have we? We've been walking around the outside of it. It's just a ruin, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just crumbling, this building. It's just, pieces coming away all the time.
What do you think? Do you think it's scary?
This is certainly very atmospheric.
Did you hear that?
Look, don't start getting all Yvette Fielding on me. Let's just stay calm, okay?
Yeah, Dan.
What?
I'm not messing around. Is that... Do you see a person over there?
Yeah. Just...
You see her as well?
Yeah.
I'm not imagining this.
No. Why? What are you thinking?
Well, I mean, it's weird enough that us two should be here at night around this old priory, but why is this other person here? Why would you come here on your own?
I don't know. She might be walking her dog, or shall I... Hello? Hello. Hi. You gave us a bit of a scare there. We thought we were alone out here.
Oh, God, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you.
Do you live nearby? You're brave wandering around here in the dark, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. I've been here a long time. I love this place. I don't think I'll ever leave.
Yeah, see, mate. The locals always know the best ghost stories. Ask her.
Yeah, all right. We're actually on a ghost hunt at the moment. Do you know any stories about Haverhome?
Ooh. Well, there's a story of a woman who lost her baby. Apparently the monks took him, and she is supposed to sing a lullaby so that she can find him and the child will come back to her, but you can only hear it when the night's really still.
That's exactly what I heard earlier.
You're winding us up.
No, seriously. Oh, that's what I heard earlier.
I've waited so long for someone to sing with me.
Rich, what is your torch doing?
Sing with me.
Why is it flickering?
What the hell's it doing?
Stay with me. Forever.
No. This isn't right.
I'm ready to get out of there, Dan. Wait, look at her feet.
What is she... Rich, come on. Oh, my God. Rich, come on. Let's run. Run!
Get out of it.
So there you go, Rich. That's proof, if you need it, that ghosts do exist.
We have made history here on this show. Man's ongoing search for answers from the beyond, and we've answered it.
We've answered it from Haverhome.
Yeah.
There you go. So, Rich, what's coming up in the October edition of Your Local Links magazine?
Well, unsurprisingly, there's a bit of a Halloween theme going on in the October edition. We look into witches. Julie's got some great Halloween decorations she's made. And there's also a piece on you and me, Dan.
Is there really?
Yeah.
What's that about?
That's about strong links. You can read all about it in the October magazine.
Fantastic.
And there's also one of our competitions this month is with this local band called Paradox of Ravens. Now, they've been in the magazine before. They are sort of 80s kind of dark and gothic, got this electronic vibe going on. And you have the chance in October to win a copy of their debut album, which is called, I have it right here in front of me, Edge of Darkness. And we're going to play out this episode with one of their tracks. It's a track actually called Ravens, and we were listening to it earlier, weren't we?
It's a good track. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Before we go, just don't forget to follow us on our socials. That's Facebook and Instagram. Keep an ear out for the Extra Strong Links episode that drops in the middle of the month.
Well, there we are, Dan, the end of episode 2.
Yeah, we got through it.
It's been another epic, hasn't it?
It has. Yeah, brilliant. So until next time.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Goodbye.
Cheerio.
By my eyes, the shadow from a dark place in the skies. I feel that someone touched me, a figure like myself. The evil that surrounds me are simply ravens that fly by my window as the moon casts its spell. Ravens that fly by my window and call out my name. Ravens that fly by my window and point out the blame. Lie within this dark place in my soul. I lay down my head now on a pillow made from stone. Spread your wings of darkness, I behold ravens that fly by my window as the moon casts its spell. Ravens that fly by my window and call out my name. Ravens that fly by my window and point out the blame. That I told, I won't deny this madness, so I'll take it to my grave. I chose this path regardless as I let the plot unfold. Carry the truth with me till I die. Ravens that fly by my window as the moon casts its spell. Ravens that fly by my window and call out my name. Ravens that fly by my window and point out the blame.
Today's episode of Strong Links was brought to you by Dan Sun Property Services, where quality work meets local care. From reliable maintenance jobs to property refurbs, call Dan Sun Property Services